Obviously the map, as you can see, is cobblestone, and we have Binary Dragons versus Team Rebels, or the Rebels. I kind of like saying the Rebels. If only there was someone called the Empire. Star Wars reference for anyone who doesn't get that. And if you don't, leave. Everyone loves Star Wars. But we are going, it looks like, into a slight pause? I don't know. Anyway, we have the pistol buy coming up. Nades coming in on Spiker. And actually a little bit closer on the viewers' predictions this time. We've had 80-20 both times in the previous matches. So Rebels still the favourites. I've been reading, having a gander at the chat, and I've seen quite a few people saying that they're going for they want to bet on Binary Dragons, but they're suspecting the Rebels will take it. So I'll go with you guys, and it is both teams. They have a Molotov, and one player boosted up. Dursky, it was boosted. He's jumped back down. He's going to have gathered a little bit of information, but the majority of players are rushing onto the A site. It's going to be down to Fanat and Undo if they're going to take something down, and it's going to be the kills going evenly so far. The bomb has gone down, so that's at least secured the AKs if the T's don't manage to win this round for the 4th round, but at the moment it's not going too badly, although Burning Alive, Cyber Focus will manage to pick up one, and it's now a 1 versus 1, Spaz versus Undo. Undo, he doesn't have a kit, so Spaz, all he has to do is play the time, make sure there isn't enough for him to defuse the bomb, and he's doing great work doing that. 2 kills for him in the round. The pistol goes the way of Rebels, and the pause coming in almost straight away for the T side. Just looking at this game so far, you can say that Cobblestone has actually become a predominantly T-sided map. Not by a huge margin, to say the least. It's definitely not like, oh my god, they should be winning 12 rounds. No, maybe, I don't know, 9 or 8 rounds on the T side. Just because people have just learned to do. You've got the Olive Micers being able to run down Long B and just take the heads off anyone who gets in his way. And we'll see if Rebels or Binary Dragons could do anything of the sort. I think a sound card was slightly disconnected within the Rebels lineup, but we do have the force spike coming in from the CT side. I was a little bit confused. In pause? And Undo, Balbina with the Deegs. And that is a commonly used weapon within the CIS region for sure. Like, a lot of people have started picking it up, but it used to be the Simples, the Guardians, some of those legends from, well, I say legends, they're both still so young, especially Simple, only 18 years of age, and you think, how's that? He's already been banned for 2 years, it's almost insane. But Spiker, he's going to be picking up the first kill. The AKF Spaz will pick up another, and this force buy hasn't paid off. Actually, a 4 Mac 10 buy coming in here from the terrorist side, not keeping to what we've been seeing more recently. Most people picking up the majority of rifles, but I suppose you don't risk as much, you don't have as much to lose, and one player dropping a Mac 10, pretty much going to pay for themselves here. Undo, he's going to take a nade, and he's down to 13 HP now, not a huge amount he can hope to achieve here. Maybe opt to save the Mac 10 for the next round, or the Deagle more importantly. And yeah, a pretty solid round coming in from the T side. They do have to be careful doing that Mac 10 strat, as well, the majority of teams will be able to combat that with some pistols, but in this scenario they did their work, they earned themselves a little bit of extra cash, and Spaz, he's just going to hope to hold on to his AK-47, the most valuable thing currently in play. And actually Undo, he's not going to manage to save anything. Not a huge loss. Probably the Kevlar was a little bit more valuable than the Mac 10 itself. But anyway, Rebels take the second round. They're going to be going into this next round with 4 Mac 10s yet again. Spiker's just going to go straight back to the Mac 10. And to be honest, in this round you can see why may have actually been a better idea for him to just buy an AK and have one of his teammates run it with the Mac 10s, because they will almost definitely have to get rid of them in the next round anyway. But moving into this round, we're going to have them rushing straight down drop. Fixer's going to pick up the first kill, and there's going to be streaming straight down. Electronic picks up 2, Spaz picks up another one with his AK, and the bomb's going to go down comfortably. And you don't really expect anything less, especially coming in with these MAC-10s, and I imagine we'll see the majority of players drop them just before they get into the next round. And here we go. Fanat Rocker going straight for the AWP. No head armor on anybody except Barbina. And maybe that MAC-10 should have stayed in play. Just go for those cheeky headshots with the MAC-10. But anyway, the AWP does come straight onto Cyber Focus as well. So there's a pun in there somewhere about using... I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's too early. It's only day one. I can't start doing puns already. But no control over the drop down area just yet. That push comes straight in, picks up 2 kills. 2 players, 3 players, pretty low though within the Rebels lineup, and actually Electronic swapping away to his knife at just the wrong time. He probably could have saved his teammate there, and the CTs have turned this round into a 3 versus 2. Dursky with 2 kills of his own, and now we see if Cyberfox and Electronic are able to clutch out this round for their team. They are moving towards the A site. That could work out because Dursky... Oh no, it's Fanat, isn't it? It's Fanat on the A side. He's got the AWP, so we may see the first AWP engagement of this best of 1 of this map and see who will come out on top. Dursky currently sat the closest, able to rotate, but this is who we want to be watching. I want to see whether or not Cyberfox is going to spot out the Ilpa on the site. Fanat not yet showing himself, and Fanat is going to win this duel the first time around. And now Electronic, he's gonna take down Fanat. The backflip coming in. He takes down another. Actually, this could be a phenomenal clutch coming in. A 3 versus 1. He's just got to be careful of Undo coming in. And there we go. Undo managing to save the round for the CT side, but Electronic doing some great work there, almost managing to take the round into his own hands. And Cyber Focus, he's going straight back to that AWP. He's like, I'm not done yet, Fanat. You're not getting this round. I've been told that actually means fan of rock. I'm hoping that's true. I hope I'm not saying any of that. That's the only problem with being English and not knowing the majority of these words mean. They could mean, well, obviously some of them are more basic, but there we go. 2 nades thrown into the drop down area and doing a nice amount of damage to Barbina, and he's going to get taken down fairly quickly. Fix getting a little bit confused there as to where the remaining players were. Undo still stood up on the tree area, just spinning around, no idea where to look, and he's given the T's a good chance in this round. Molotov coming in. Fanat sat there with the AWP. If Spaz peeks here, he may get taken down, and the shoulder peek actually comes in, but Spiker comes back around. He's already got 3 kills in this round, taking it into his own hands, and now it's all down to Dursky to pick up a double, and neither of the players are peeking him particularly much. He's only got 1 HP. I'm not really sure what he can manage to do here. If he stubs his toe on a rock, he's going to go down, and Spiker will finish him off. That's 4 kills for him. The AWP is going to be saved for Cyber Focus, and now we see the economy mind games are coming in. Rebels, no, they're reading. This is something I think I saw was DDK talking about, saying that every team should know the economy of the other team, and he has worked out that the majority of the players, well, are going to be low on money, but they're actually going to force into this. So the MAC-10s, not actually the ideal scenario here, although they did beat the anti-eco with just MAC-10s, so if they can do it again, I wouldn't be overly surprised. And it's Myers going to be taking a little peek. They have pretty much surrendered drop to the terrorist side if they so want it. Only 1 player currently guarding it, and I do love looking at the MAC-10 pose with the side hand. It just looks badass as hell. Dursky waiting with the CZ. The T's taking their time. They're trying to wait to see if any of the CTs will push. And there's the first. Ismail taking an early peek. He's going to go down. The MAC-10 of Fix is going to be dropped. And actually, Dursky takes down another in the meantime. So 2 kills so far for the CT side. And they have actually got the stack now onto the B site. However, they are getting torn apart by these remaining rifles. The MAC-10s were slaughtered, but that is all. Oh no, never mind. Spaz goes down as well. But in the end, the T's take the round. Maybe getting a little bit too overzealous there, trying to win with just some MAC-10s, and the MAC-10s actually got slaughtered. So it actually would have been better probably to buy them this round, but not knowing quite the money, they've decided to just stick with the AKs. And 5 rounds so far on the T side is a great start for the Rebels. And we will wait and see whether the Dragons can bite back. It does look like Fanat's going to go for a peek. He's trying to psych out the AWP of Cyber Focus, but he's completely focused on that position. Ha ha ha! And that will be the kill going to him. This is a straight up eco coming in from the CT side, so we really can't expect to see too much coming out for them. Even dropping 1 or 2 players would be just a nice addition to lower the economy of the T's just that little bit more. But it's looking fairly decent at the moment, especially considering they're up against an eco. Rebel are losing a little bit of health here. Fix and Spaz both in 1 tap position. Spaz is now down to 19 HP, but he's still finishing off, and it's now all down to Barbina to see whether or not he can just do a little bit of damage. He has Electronic pushing towards him, and yeah, I'm not sure how much he can hope to achieve. The 2 weaker players are just going to walk around the back, and Electronic will finish him off. A little bit of a face plant into the wall there, and that will be 6-1. Rebels looking strong so far. 65% of people are currently rubbing their hands together in glee, watching Rebels just pick apart the Binary Dragons. But obviously it's early days yet. Saving money on the Kevlar helmets, again, definitely something that's plausible for the CT side, to make sure that they have those extra nades, an extra smoke, or an extra frag. But those nades are being used relatively quickly and to very little effect so far. They are slowing down the push from the T's and actually have a huge presence currently over towards the B side. This is one of the more predominant plays. You see Na'Vi do this all the time, just leave Guardian to lurk over on that side, or leave anyone to just hold 1 on the A site, and then all the other 4 stack the B, and that's exactly what's happening here. And the stack has been walked into, but so far it is going the way of the terrorist side. They've still got 2 more players on this site to find. The Flick's going to get missed by Cyber, and that's actually going to be the end of his life. The CTs have brought this back to a 3 versus 3. Spiker, he manages to take down 1 more, and the bomb is planted. A lovely shot from Fanat through the door. I don't know how he saw anything there. Maybe it's just a little bit of pot luck, but he's now in a 1 versus 2. And I doubt either of these players are going to peek until they absolutely have to, and he doesn't have a kit. So this is going to be a very, very difficult position for him to retake from. And Spiker was actually low, didn't manage to land the shot, and that's going to be an AWP saved for Cyber again. And the T's now looking pretty good. Cyber with 9 or 8k and Spaz on 9k, so they've got the money to back up anything they want to do here. And the CTs are back onto an eco again. 7 rounds to 1. The 1 coming just after the pistol round, and after that Cyber Focus just stepped it up a gear. Oh, Cyber Focus? Rebels stepped it up a gear. I suppose Cyber Focus is doing alright, 5-4, but Spiker and Spaz currently leading the way. And yeah, it looks like they're going for another play towards the drop area. This time there's actually a stack towards A, and I don't know, it does look like the CT side may have got this right. The T's do seem to be backing towards the A site, unless Spaz suddenly realizes that there's not very much being held there. Playing very, very close here, and really they need that information play to come in. There you go. Fanat picking up 1, but they've realized now, they've seen all the players and they're running. They're scurrying back to the B site. The B site has been cleared out by Spaz, And now the rotation's coming in. They're just walking into those AK shots. Spaz is having a field day here. And Cyberfocus, he's going to pick up another one. Cyberfocus, that's a character, isn't it? That's a video game. That's why I keep wanting to say that. Cyberfocus, he picks up a kill. And Rocker, he has managed to get himself an AK, but that'll be short-lived. 8-1. Rebels looking absolutely dominant so far in this game. And now we're actually going to see a double orb setup coming in from the CT side. They're going to try and switch this up a little bit. It's going to be Rocker, and it's me. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Stop singing. Right, back into the game. It's my gun. Where's he going to be going? He's going to be going to Long B, I suppose. They're going to have an alt fire site. But really, the drop down area has been pretty weak. Titanic hasn't been too much better. Is it? That's not even what it's called, I don't think. Let's just call it Long B. Hasn't been too much better. And going into this, the T's have already got the entry kill onto the AWP. Cyberfocus has lost a little bit of health, but it's going to be Spaz making the entry kills here, and it's all down to this man yet again, and Spaz is just going to finish him off with a triple kill in the round. Rebels, I'm not sure if we can even see a way back for this for Binary Dragons. At the moment, they're just being absolutely outclassed, and, well, the 35% viewer prediction for Binary Dragons may be going out the window unless they can make something happen here. And Rocker, he's actually going to be saving to try and maybe get himself an AWP if they manage to win this round, but it's not looking too good so far. And look, with Dursky going down almost instantly, it just seems round after round they're losing the first pick, and even if they don't, the T's are just gathering up and just crushing them. Spaz currently leading the board 17-2, and while just showing up on LAN at the moment, the Rebels definitely looking deadly so far. But obviously there's still 6 rounds left. If the CTs can close out a few more, just as I say that, we see it's why go down yet again. He really hasn't had very much luck in this game. And again, Balbina sat 2-10. Nobody really showing up just yet. Obviously, if they do lose this game, they are still going to be in the lower bracket. It's not straight away game over. But with Rebels looking so deadly at this point, they look to be going into the upper bracket. And the CTs, it looks like they're just going to have to save here. Actually, Spaz, fairly low on HP, just waiting. Is he actually going to get any of these players? I was about to say that would have been horrible, but the T's, they now know exactly where this is going. Fix is going to go into the T spawn area to try and find some of these remaining players. He may lose himself a gun here, and Rocker just slowly picking off the T's who are pushing. We do still have Electronic to try and take away some of the guns out of the CT's hands, but they're going to hold on to them, actually grab themselves an AK, and Rocker is going to get himself an AWP going into this round. Barbina now going to go with the Swag 7, probably going to be playing drop down, more common spot, but that hasn't been going too well for him. Drop is definitely one of those positions that it takes a certain skill to play, or you just have to play it from different angles, like holding from the window area, one of the common ones. But they're actually going to push straight through the Molotov, and there goes Balbina. He's straight out of there. Nothing really going his way so far, and it's back to a 3-on-3. Rocker is still standing with the AWP towards the A site, and that does seem to be where the terrorist side are going. I wonder if this 1v1 duel will happen yet again, although it is Spiker who was leading the charge. I tried to switch his screen, and just as I got there, he gets taken down. And actually, It's My has already rotated over, so they may have the correct read coming in here, the CTs. And the flashbang will give away the position of Cyberfocus. He does have to be careful. There is another player in the smoke, just waiting. And Rocker is going to miss the shot. He's going to smoke himself off, but It's My in the perfect position. Cyberfocus will whiff the AWP shot, and that is round number 2. Binary Dragons at least get one back, but I'm pretty sure the T's are going to be able to buy into this one. Spaz currently 18-4 in the game. He's having a field day. But Rebels, they don't want to get too confident. They want to get as many rounds as they can on the T side. But with 10 rounds already standing, they shouldn't have too much to worry about. Cyber Focus looking down his sight. He's not going to see anyone just yet. There are 3 players towards the B site. And actually, it's only going to be Balbina left over. He's no longer playing drop. He's had enough. It's not working out for him, so he's going to be playing A. And Dersky has actually moved into what looks like the drop area. And the majority of the players are going over towards the B site. So with 4 people standing there, the CT should have a good chance to do some damage here. But this guy Spaz entry killing everyone so far. So we'll see whether or not he's able to do this again. He's going to be out onto the plateau area, and Fix in the meantime has picked up one. Spaz just eyeing out the opposition. He might have just spotted one there, and Cyber Focus actually going to be the one hitting the shot. And there you go. Spaz will get his 1 kill. Babina now, it does seem to be whoever's playing the A site will be the remaining player left alive once the slaughter has ensued. And Rebels, they're going to just pretty much crush the CT economy yet again. Undo will have a little bit of cash, and if Balbina can save his gun, at least that'll probably be 3 guns in the next round. But 11-2 here. Rebels looking incredibly strong. I can't really state that enough. Like, Fix sitting down the bottom of the board, and you can't really blame him. It just Spaz Electronic just up there, 14, 19 kills, 20, 33 even between them, and just unstoppable. Cyber Focus missing a couple of shots, but really it hasn't mattered too much. They've only lost 1 round because of it. The only round they lost prior to that was the one after the one where the CTs finally were able to buy. And here we go. They are going to force. As said, they've managed to get 3 guns on the board. Rockout with his AWP. Not been doing too badly with the AWP, but it's not made a huge impact in most of the rounds. He's normally the last one left alive. And to be honest, I think he should be playing towards the long end of B. He should be holding from the chicken hut, doing the sort of impact frag sort of role, trying to get the entry frag. And Fix is actually going to jump him with the mag. I can't even say it. The Mag 10. It doesn't even matter what guns they have at this point. Electronic, he picks up another kill, and that was all down to Ismai and Rocker. Rocker, is he going to be the last alive with that AWP? He's going to pick up 1. That's at least something. Fix, he's going to be going with the Mag 10 and actually bait so that Cyberfox can pick up a nice easy kill. And Ismai's going to get taken down in the end by Spike. It's a 12-2 domination. This is just domination. This is pure class coming out from Rebels. Composed, just out fragging the opposition, really playing quickly when it's necessary, even trying to read the economy. Like, you realize last round Fix picked up a Mac 10 to try and earn himself some cash. Have you seen their cash? He's not got that much, but everyone else in his team has got enough to buy him about 5 guns. So here we go, the CTs now with their pistols. Rocker is going to pick up 1. Ismai's going to manage to get an AK, but in the end it's still even trades coming in. And Electronic and Spiker will bring 2 more down, and it's all down to Dursky in a 2 versus 1. And that's all it's going to be, 13-2. Rebels can't really hope for much more than that. An excellent start to this tournament, and well, they're definitely looking strong coming up against Binary Dragons. And we're going to be going straight into the second half. All you can really hope is that Binary Dragons are able to win the pistol round and try and at least save some of their pride to begin with. You never know. You've just watched Rebels win 13 rounds on the T side. I don't see why Binary Dragons aren't able to do it, but it's also the confidence thing coming into play, the mental state you have to be in to come back from such a huge loss. That's why you call teams like Fnatic and the sort of legendary NIP lineup, you'd say, well, that was the difference. You had in-game leaders who could pull you out of the dirt and bring you back, and I wonder if Binary Dragons are going to have the composure to come back from this. But anyway, they're going into the pistol round. The first kill does go the way of the terrorist side, but Fix brings 2 back instantly and gives his teammates the chance to rotate in. The bomb is going to go down at the very least. Cyber Focus, he's going to pick up another one, and now it's a 2 versus 3. The CTs, they do have a kit, and it is currently on Cyber Focus. Cyber Focus, he's just eating away at the remaining players. A jumping headshot from Spiker, absolutely lovely, and he's going to fake the bomb just to pull out his opponent, and I imagine Cyber Focus may take over the defuse. I don't think it's going to be necessary in the end. Spiker, he wants the MVP. He felt like he deserved it just that little bit more. And there you go, 14-2, the pistol going the way of Rebels, and well, they could let it go to 15 rounds and go for the AKs and try and win 13 rounds in a row, but they're not. They're going to go for the Tech 9 buy. They've got all the nades they could possibly need, and 3 rifles coming in for the CT side, just to make sure they can fend off anything coming their way. To be honest, it's kind of hard to analyse the majority of stuff that's going on at the moment, because this is just a whitewash play. They're being outclassed by Rebels, and shout out to anyone in the chat who was, I think they were talking about, make sure you swap who you're betting on, and anybody who did swap will feel a little bit relieved, even if they didn't win as much as they would have, just because the Rebels have absolutely crushed Binary Dragons here. There's really no other way of putting it. You can't say that it's been particularly close. Like the majority of the rounds, there's been at least a few players left alive. 4 players there, 3, 4, just all the way along. It hasn't been like particularly close. And well, with 1 AK, Rocker only on a P250. I think he must have dropped the AK for a teammate. We're gonna have the final stand of Binary Dragons. They're coming up against a buy far superior to their own, but It's Maya will pick up the entry kill, so that's at least a decent start. He's going to pick up a second, so maybe their 3rd round is coming here. There you go, Spiker gets taken down, Undo waiting as the lurker even, and they're going to win that round pretty comfortably, so at least that's something. So something they can look back on positively when they analyze this game later on. It must be very difficult for a team to analyze a game like this, where it's just like, yeah, he ran out of drop. Oh, and then he shot you in the head. Yeah. Yeah, there's not that much we can really analyze from that. What I would like to say is I would have much preferred to see the AWP of Fanat more on the B side, just because that's where the majority of the pushes came in, and just to have him over there. Electronic will pick up the first kill with his CZ. We do have a double up setup currently. Spiker has taken quite a lot of hits, and so has Fix already, so T-side looking fairly good so far in this round. They have, however, lost the first player, and Spiker, he's not going to get to use that AWP for very long. Electronic will, however, pick up his 2nd kill with the CZ, and he's grabbed himself an AK as well, and now the round's looking a little bit worrying for Binary Dragons. They only have 2 players remaining. They do still have the bomb, and Spaz is getting, or Cyber Focus even, is getting ready for the rotate. Just going to miss that shot. He's going to relocate himself, not go for a second peek. Smart play to make sure that he's not going to lose his life too quickly. And actually, the T's are just playing games. They're going to go back to the B site again by the looks of things. Just try and catch out. Just hope that they can find an entry kill somewhere along the way. But they are making an awful lot of noise, and I think the rotation will probably come back in relatively quickly. And Fix, he's not going to miss. He's actually going to pick up both kills. 16-3 domination from the Rebels. They're going to be staying in the upper bracket. And actually, I'm pretty sure that match should put us right back on schedule